Hi, my name's James Eve Marler, or Mr. Property. Now I'm sat here with my friend Nitin Doshi, and today we're going to answer a couple of questions about capital gains tax. Now Nitin is actually kindly enough to do another video later with a little bit more detail, but today we've just got the 4 questions for you, quick round. Now first of all, one of the biggest questions most people have, and it is outside of business, is what about inheritance? If you inherit a property, are you liable for capital gains on it?
Yes, on that inheritance property, James, what would happen is that inherited property, when that's disposed of by the individual, capital gains tax is due to HMRC.
Okay.
And the way that's calculated is that you'd have to look at when that property was bought by the relatives initially.
Okay.
And that would be deducted from the proceeds of the sale.
Okay.
And then capital gains tax would be due on that amount.
Okay, so for an example, say we've got my parents bought a house for 50,000, which is entirely plausible.
Correct.
And they've owned it for, say, 10 years. Nice and easy.
Sure.
And it's now worth 250,000.
That's right.
On that 200,000 over 10 years,
yes,
what's the liability there?
Right, on that 200,000, you deduct the initial amount paid by your parents, the 50,000, and on top of that, you get the allowance in this financial year, 2016-17, of 11,100
times the 10 years.
Yeah, no, you deduct that 11,100 from the 150,000 proceeds that you've got on disposal.
Yep.
And then capital tax would be payable on that remaining amount.
Okay.
And that would also be based on what income tax level you're on.
Oh, okay.
So if you're on the lower band of income tax, you pay the lower capital gains tax percentage. If you're on the higher level of income tax, then you pay the higher percentage.
Okay.
And because it's a property, so it's either 18% or 28% in this financial year.
Fair enough. Oh, well answered, yeah. Secondly, can it be postponed? Now, it doesn't just have to be in an inheritance situation. Say you've got a property that you bought maybe as a buy-to-let, or it's your own home, or any other situation. Can you postpone capital gains?
Right, well, capital gains, right, really applies not on your single individual property. It happens on any property that you're getting rid of that may be a second ownership or any other asset type.
Okay.
Then capital gains tax is payable. And in postponing that capital gains tax, unfortunately HMRC doesn't allow for any postponement.
That's a shame.
So when the financial year, which is the 5th of April, is up and one does their self-assessment, etc., then in the January of the next year, when you have to file your self-assessment, you have to do that payment. Otherwise, you could be penalised.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, we've got 2 more questions for you.
Sure.
Now, I understand you're going to do another video.
Yes.
But one of the questions is for an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Now, I've heard some rumours that there's a little bit of a relief for entrepreneurs. Can you tell us a bit about it?
That's right. Well, with entrepreneurs, the way it works is that if they can show that either they're a sole trader or they're in a partnership.
Yes.
Now, if they're a sole trader or in a partnership, and what happens is that if they dispose of their partnership shares, which could be anything up 5% or more.
Okay.
If they dispose of that or they dispose of their business, then the gain they've made on that business, what would happen is that they would have to pay capital gains tax, and that capital gains tax would be 10%.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the entrepreneur's relief comes in.
A little bit, yeah.
And they would benefit from that.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mitigation.
Yes.
This is one of the biggest questions.
Sure.
I'll save it to the last.
Yes.
But this is the biggest questions. Can you mitigate against it?
Yes, you can mitigate against tax. The way to mitigate against tax is if you have any losses from prior years,
yes,
you can basically offset your capital gains tax against those losses. Okay.
Fantastic.
So that is a good way of capitalizing on any losses you've had in previous years. As they roll forward into the new financial year, as you're carrying forward your losses, if you sell any assets, the capital gain wouldn't be on the value that you're making on that profit. You can offset against the losses from previous years.
Fantastic.
Previous years, yes. Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you very much. I said it would be a quick round. It was only the 4 questions. Nitin is going to do a much more detailed video coming soon. If you've got any questions, please comment below and one of us will get back to you. Thank you very much. Take care.